Hi everyone, Cherie here. Today I'm going to create a traveller's notebook spread using the Felicity Jane Zoey Kit. Now I've already printed out my journaling onto some plain paper and cut that down to size to fit into my notebook. I'm thinking I'm going to use some of this bold stripe paper as an accent on my pages, and I've got two photos to use as well. These photos are of my daughter's new glasses, which she absolutely loves, and I think they look really cute on her. I'm going to use the Zoey Puffy Alphas. I've also got a variety of stamps to use too. I've got the Zoey stamp set, the Hooray stamp set, and the Outline Alpha stamp set, which I might use too. So I've got my embellishments ready to go. I also decided to cut some of these little hearts off of the branding strip from one of the papers in the kit. It's got that pink diagonal stripe and that black spot. All I did was grab my, I think it's a 1/2 inch circle punch, and it fits absolutely perfectly around those little hearts. So all I did was punch those out, and now I have a couple of cute little embellishments to use on my pages as well. So I'll get started and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so to start off with, I've gone ahead and cut 2 strips from that bold stripe paper, and I'm just going to add these down the outer edges of each of my Traveller's Notebook pages. So just using my tape runner there to stick those down. And then I'm going to grab my sewing machine and I'm just going to run a line of stitching down each of those strips. So I won't make you watch all of my stitching, I'll jump ahead to the next bit. Alright, so now I can go ahead and start adding my photos and other embellishments. So I decided to go with that landscape photo on the left and the portrait style photo on the right. So I'm not going to stick my photos down just yet because I want to make sure I get my title spacing correct. So first of all, I'm going to stamp that word cute onto the page. So I'll do a test stamp to make sure the letters are nice and straight, and then I can go directly onto the page. Okay, so I'll just move that glasses word out of the way so there's no interference with the stamping. And then I'm going to go ahead and add that acetate speech bubble above that stamped word. So I'm just going to use my tiny attacher to staple that on. Nice and quick and easy. And I'm going to add another stamp above that from the Hooray stamp set. And this little stamp just says yay. Cute little stamp, and just popping it at the top there. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and add my photo to the page so that then I can finish off my title. So just make sure I get that photo nice and straight because the edges of my photo line up with the edges of my page. And then I can add those puffy alphas. Now it is a little bit fiddly. I do play around a bit getting these nice and straight, so skipping ahead and it's all done. Okay, so I'm going to use one of those little heart embellishments at the top of the speech bubble there, and I've just added that on with a little bit of foam tape. And finally, for this first page, I wanted to add another stamp underneath that photo, so I've gone with that cool little arrow stamp from the Zoey stamp set. And I'm just going to stamp that onto a scrap piece of white cardstock, and then I'll cut that out before adding it onto the page. So I've got a nice solid image there, so I'm going to just grab my scissors and trim that down. Just trying to get a nice even border around the edge of that. And to add that on, I'm going to use my tiny attacher again. Really does make it so easy to add embellishments using my tiny attacher. Okay, so that's done, and now I can move on to my second page. So I'm adding my photo above the journaling, and then I'm going to reach for another stamp. So I'm using one of the stamps from the Zoey stamp set, and this one says something to smile about. So as always, I'll do a little test stamp onto that scrap paper first. Looking good. And then I can go directly onto the page. Okay, so next I'm going to add a couple of little embellishments to the side of the photo. So I've got that black tab, I've got one of the little tiny tags that says love, and I'm using a little gold oval paper clip that you can get in the Felicity Jane store, just at the top there, and finally securing it with a staple. Alright, so time for a little bit more stamping down the bottom, and I'm using that celebrate word and another line that says the little things. So I'm putting those together nice and close on my clear stamp block, and then I'll stamp them together directly onto the page. But first, a couple of test stamps because I want to get a really nice solid image. And that second one looks pretty good. So now I'm going directly onto the page. Okay. Now for the finishing touch, I'm just going to add another one of those little heart embellishments. So another little piece of foam tape, and then that one can go on. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing this Traveller's Notebook spread come together today. I'll pop a link down below to the Felicity Jane store if you're interested in any of these goodies. And I'll be back again really soon with another project to share. So thank you for watching, and bye for now.